Maybe you just gotten married. Maybe you just had a baby. Maybe you finally landed that dream job that you've been chasing for an extremely long time. Maybe you're tired of the upkeep of a larger house and you would like to downsize to something easier to maintain. Maybe in a less fortunate event, you've inherited a property that you do not want to pay the taxes on and you do not want to maintain. Whatever the case may be, it is time for you to start calling real estate agents and begin the process of getting your house listed. In this video, I'm going to give you 10 questions that you should ask before hiring a real estate agent. There is nothing worse than getting stuck with a bad agent. I have people that message me all the time asking for my help, but they've already signed with another agent, and at that point, I cannot help them. Selling a house is not the same as selling a collectible or a car. If you're like most Americans, a house and property is the single most expensive thing we will ever purchase in our lifetime, and you need a professional on your side to help you through the process. In the description box below, you can find my website and my contact information. Feel free to reach out and I'll be glad to help you in the process of getting your house sold. If you're watching on YouTube, consider leaving a like and hitting the subscribe button. Both things are easy, fast, and free, and you'll get more content for insights on how to buy and sell property, along with virtual tours of the best southern homes. So number 10, can you show me my local market? Once you call a real estate agent and tell them that, hey, I'm getting ready to list my house, can you help me? That agent should arrive with a stack of papers which include the specs on properties that would be considered direct competition with your house, and include properties that are comparable to your house that have recently sold. Some agents will even email you a little preview of the meeting before actually meeting you. If an agent shows up empty-handed, that should be considered a huge red flag. Number 9, how many deals do you do a year? From the research that I've gathered, the average agent does 10 to 12 deals a year, depending on their local market. In bigger markets, that number would probably be higher. In smaller markets, that number would probably be a little bit lower. If that agent isn't hitting the average in their market, it is a possibility that you've got a couch potato agent. But everyone has different circumstances, so let's give them the benefit of the doubt. With the remaining 8 questions, we can get to the bottom of the issue. Number 8, what kind of connections do you have? As a real estate agent, we should have all kinds of connections to help our clients get their home sold for as much money as fast as possible. These connections could include handyman for big and small jobs, depending on the house, because we want the house to be able to pass for a loan and we want the highest bidder to get the house. So in some cases, small or even big repairs may need to be done to the property. Loan officers. If I'm representing you or if another agent is representing you, they should have a loan officer in their back pocket. So if someone falls in love with your house and they haven't been approved for a loan yet, we can send them to get approved for the loan. Moving companies, of course, once you sell your property, if you're not living in it, you're going to have to move to a new place within typically 30 to 40 days. So we want to have moving companies that we can hook you up with. Inspectors, of course, if you're buying a property, you always want to get it inspected. And if you're selling a property, you need to know exactly what it is you're selling. So we need to have inspectors who can really put this property under the magnifying glass. And insurance, especially if you're buying a property, you want to have a real estate agent who has connections to insurance agents so that you can get the best deal on your insurance and possibly even make your mortgage a little bit cheaper. Number 7, are you a full-time agent? There are many agents who work a part-time job as well as being a real estate agent, and some even work full-time jobs being a real estate agent. But you want to know when your agent will not be available for you, because nothing's worse than listing your property and then 2 months later you still haven't heard from your agent. You have no idea what's going on. So you want to know when your agent will be available for you to talk to. Typically, I always meet with my clients every Friday to give them updates on what's been going on, how much attention the house has been getting or lack thereof. Hopefully we always get a lot of attention, a lot of people falling in love with the property. But in this market, agents are starting to fall off. Some are retiring their license altogether, and some are just working part-time jobs because this market's getting very tough. And that's another reason why you need a real estate agent, and a good real estate agent, because in this tougher market you have to be more aggressive and have great marketing strategies to get these properties sold. Number 6, do you specialize? There are all kinds of different real estate agents. Some are listing agents, some are buyer's agents, some deal in foreclosures, and some deal in commercial properties. And there are also some agents who just do a little bit of everything. And while there are pros and cons to both, if you get someone who represents buyers and sellers, they typically have a good understanding of what sellers are thinking and what buyers are thinking. If you get someone who just specializes in selling, they know the process of selling the property like the back of their hand, and they typically know how to negotiate better with buyer's agents. So there's pros and cons to both, but you should know beforehand if your agent specializes in one thing or not, and then weigh the pros and cons for yourself and decide which one is more important to you. Number 5, what should I expect in negotiations? And I can pretty well just tell you this right here and right now. When you go to sell a house, you have to sell the house 3 times before you will actually get paid. The first time you sell the house will be when the buyer comes and looks at the house, they like the property, they submit an offer to you, and you accept the offer. The second time you'll have to sell the house is now that that buyer has accepted the offer, they are going to send an inspector out to that property, and the inspection will occur. After the inspection, the buyer can say, okay, this popped up on the inspection, I no longer want to pay this price, I want to pay this price, and you have the right to say yes or no, or the buyer may say, okay, I'll still pay you the same price, but I want you to fix this, this, and this, and you have the right to say yes or no. And they might just say, you know what, the inspection come back good, I'm happy, I'm pleased, let's go ahead and go through with the transaction. There's always a renegotiation period after the inspection. After the inspection, an appraisal will be done on the property. When the appraisal comes back, there will be another negotiating period. And once everything is agreed upon after the appraisal, then the deal can be done and we can go to the lawyer's office and you can get paid. The buyers can get the keys to their new property. Everyone is happy and everyone moves on. Number 4, very important. Can you provide me with references? Agents should have a list of references that they should be willing and able to give to you. And as a matter of fact, if you have to ask for them, that might be a small red flag. A lot of times they'll want to give you the references and say, hey, call my past clients. Hey, call my broker. Hey, call my friend, former employer. Find out what kind of person I am. So you want to ask for references, and all of those people that I give you will be good references, especially for newer agents who haven't had their license very long. They might have to supply you with a broker or a past agent they worked alongside, or even a past employer. But preferably you would like to have clients. You would want to call those former clients and ask them, hey, did he make the transition very smooth for you? Was it very quick and painless for you? Was you happy with the outcome of the deal? Those are the kind of questions you would want to ask those references. Number 3, how can I, as a seller, help you to sell this property? Because not everything is on the agent. This is actually your property, and while we'll do the legwork, we'll do the paperwork, we'll negotiate the best deal we can for you, there is some doing that has to be on your end. If you have pets, it would go a long ways on cleaning up hair or getting rid of any smells that may be in the property. You want to declutter the property. You don't want to have laundry thrown everywhere. You want it to be clean. And you also want to depersonalize the property. You don't want to have family photos sitting out everywhere. You want the buyer to be able to imagine the property how they want to imagine it in their own head. That will really help them fall in love with the property even more. Number 2, and a lot of you guys may think this should be number 1, but how much do you charge? Anytime you hire somebody, you always want to know what you're paying them, whether if you own a store or if you own a restaurant or if you're hiring someone to mow your yard, you always want to know the price for that. Typically, you will come to an agreement with your listing agent on the commission that you will pay, and then when a buyer's agent brings a buyer, the listing agent will then split that commission with the buyer's agent. And of course, different agents bring different kinds of values. If you want a discounted agent, you're likely to get discounted service. Think about it this way. If you have one agent who sells your house for $200,000 and he's doing that for 4%, but you have another agent who's selling your house for $250,000 and charging you 6%, you come out better if you went with the agent who charged 6%. Typically, the agents who charge more do more. That includes paying for paid advertisements. That includes more time and more effort in the property. And that includes a bigger split to buyer's agents who would be more likely to push their clients into buying your property instead of the competition down the street. And number one, how do you intend to market my property? The reason that this one is number one and not number two is because if they don't sell your property, you're not going to pay them anything. They've wasted their time, they've wasted your time, and they've probably even wasted some of their own money on trying to market your property the wrong way. In this changing market, the days of throwing your property on the internet and putting a sign up in the yard just does not cut it. You have to have a proactive agent who is willing to go out there and hustle and find buyers agents and find buyers and get them to your property and make your property the obvious choice on the market if you want it sold. It's 2022. Any Tom, Dick, or Harry can throw your property on the internet, but they need to understand how to get your property on the internet in a way that everyone is going to see it. But once everyone sees it, they want to be talking to a specific group of people. For instance, if I have a property that is a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom that's near the water, I would market that property to a small family who likes the water. Or if I have a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom home downtown, I would advertise that property as a bachelor pad. Every home is unique, and you just have to find the person who falls in love with it. And ideally, what we like to have happen is to have 2 people fall in love with it, or even more than 2 people fall in love with the property, and entice a bidding war. That's getting harder and harder to do in this market. So you want to have a good agent to get your property sold for as much as possible, as soon as possible. Again, if you're looking to buy or sell real estate, my contact information should be somewhere on this video. I'd be happy to talk to you, even if it's just a quick conversation about real estate. Just call me. Let's talk. And if there's business to be done, maybe we can have business. I've never met you. You've never met me. I don't know that it would be good for us to do business together. And if not, that's okay. But until next time, you guys have a great day.